You've been playing the game from the outside all these years, conquering the outside, business, real estate, planes, boats, houses. Congratulations. You won the game in business, but you fail in the game of life if you're not fulfilled.
You are listening to Mastering the Inner Game podcast with your host, Jarek Tadla.
Welcome to the podcast, Jarek Tadla. I'm here with my coach, Raul Villacis. Welcome, Raul.
Man, it is a pleasure to be in the first episode of the Jarek Tadla's podcast, man. I love this, man. Love this.
Thank you. Raul, you are the first guest, so thank you for being here. And my podcast mostly is about the inner work. And you made a huge impact on me, and not only me, but many men in that I know, and also in your life and other people's lives. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Can you walk me through what is the biggest, let's say from just maybe two most biggest mistakes, not even mistakes, but tunnels that we men are going through?
Yeah, you know that we've worked with thousands of men, just like you. The biggest mistake men make is thinking that they're the only ones going to this shit. The only ones going. I'm the only one, Raul. You don't know what I go through. You don't know what my life is like. That is fucking bullshit.
Well, that's how we relate so much. When I met you, when I run into you on the first phone call, that's why we relate so much, because I really thought I'm the only one. And that was the first connection that I got, that is like, holy shit, he does understand me. And, at that time, it took me a while to kind of, jump on the wagon, but that's definitely, I relate to that.
Because most men want to hide from doing the inside work. That's what I love what you're doing. The inside game is the work that men need to do right now. But we bullshit ourselves, thinking that we're the only one. And the second biggest lie is that we could do this shit on our own, that we could do it alone, that we got this. Men, I got this. I'm strong enough. Oh, I'm going to fix this.
Okay. So, but that's true. We don't even ask for directions. We open the window and ask our wives or our queens, go ask for directions. So we never ask. But what do you think, what is the main reason that we are scared? It's a shame.
Conditioning. Conditioning. We've been conditioned to believe that men are weak if we ask for help. Men are weak if we go to therapy. Men are weak if we have coaches. Men are weak if we go to seminars. Man, I used to laugh at people who need motivation. I'm like, what the fuck do I need motivation? I'm motivated. Until I wasn't motivated. Until I used to, you said it yourself. You used to laugh at people who were depressed until you were depressed.
You had depression.
And then what other program out there besides AA, besides going to church, can you name a program that is catering towards men dealing with the dark shit, dealing with the depression, with anxiety, and knowing how to build businesses? What other programs are there?
Well, I've been looking, and I have not found anything.
I've
been in the tunnel for 10 years before I found you. And I still did not believe it. And it's just, I have to go through the process. So not many. I can tell the audience, there's not many programs out there. So that's you're definitely right.
That's why I believe men like you, once they come out of the fucking tunnel, you can make a difference. Because you've been playing the game from the outside all these years, conquering the outside, business, real estate, planes, boats, houses. Congratulations. You won the game in business, but you fail in the game of life if you're not fulfilled.
But what do you think it is? Do you think it's because I'm big right now about the programming, how we were programmed during the childhood and through the coaches, teachers, parents, uncles, aunts, grandfathers, all this stuff. So this is the big role that we were impacted during the childhood. But my belief now, thanks to you also, that it's our responsibility to change it. But how important role is the programming and how important role is the awareness? Where does it, because that's where the switch between, for me, that's what had to happen.
That's a good question, because a lot of people blame their parents. A lot of men blame the country. A lot of men blame everything, so they have the victim mentality, right? So now, once they get out of the victim mentality, because there is zero upside of being a victim, zero upside. I'm an immigrant. You're an immigrant. Never did I feel that I was a victim in this country. I was bullied when I came here. I thought it was a welcome committee. 6th grade, going in, getting my ass kicked. I thought, okay, that's how you welcome the new kid, right? And as I go through my journey in business, in real estate, now one time I felt like I was a victim. I always felt like, man, I'm lucky to be in this country. I'm lucky to be able to do business. The awareness that you have the opportunity to change is a difference between men who are working the inside game versus men who are saying, oh, he got lucky. Oh, Yarek, he's lucky. Oh, Raul, he's lucky. Oh, yeah. Or of course, Yarek has a podcast or he has Raul because he has money. Of course, Raul has the edge because people pay him to coach him. So it's the victim mentality that stops a man from saying, you know what, I'm going to take responsibility for who I am. Once you take responsibility, you could do something about the situation. Without taking ownership, you're going to be lost.
But how would you help men that they don't think they need help? Because I come to your event for the past 67 years. A lot of men comes, they come because they want something different. They come for not what they need, what they want. And what they want is not what they need. And how do you... Just walk me through this, because this is like the most like I get fascinated by it, how you know how to adjust and read people, and first let's talk about that, and then I wanna talk about the tools that you use. But let's
so let me tell you something. That for me is the biggest challenge that I give myself every single time a man comes into a boot camp. Because I know I have a bootcamp coming up next month. I know every single one of them is going to come from a different expectation than what they're going to get. My challenge is always giving them what they want and then giving them what they need. Because what they want is, oh, I want to have more success, bro. I want to have more connection with my wife. I want to have this, okay, great. But at the core, what you need is to expose your pain. What you need is to heal the inside first. What you need is to take out the fucking Band-Aid. Right now we're in this culture, Yarek, in this culture that men are weak. Men are weak because we've been conditioned to go after success. That's money.
But we are weak. But I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it that I'm weak.
But put it this way.
I didn't want to hear it. So
because on the outside you were strong. So as I'm saying, we were taught, conditioned. As long as you have money, you're strong. But then you have money, but you're still weak, but you pretend you're strong. Exactly. That is the problem. That's why we have a lot of weak men that are walking around in a suit with money, with a full bank account, but they don't have emotional fitness. Their wife cheats on them, they fucking crumble. They have a failure, they fucking crumble. Their kids are doing drugs, they fucking crumble. They don't know how to deal with the punches that life gives them. That's where men, what they need is to get punched in the face and learn how to take a punch. And from that place, just like you did, get fucking strong.
This is how important, because that's why I'm doing this. This is the reason. The emotional fitness, emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, mental game, the inner game. That's why the podcast is called Inside Game, because it's going deep, that everything we have, it's inside, not outside, even though we're searching for all the answers outside instead of going back to work. So walk me through, well, number one, how do you convince them that because we don't take it well. We men, I question you, who the fuck are you? What are you gonna tell me?
So you remember the first conversation you and I had, right?
Yes.
I remember because I walked through everything. At that point, I was doing the interviews myself. Now we have a team and they do the interviews with my team. But I treat them the same way. I train my team to look for pain and ask questions and poke, right? I ask you, where are you in your body? Oh, I'm a fucking Iron Man, a badass. Okay, great. Where are you in your being? Well, I'm good. I have a really good connection with myself. I'm fucking disciplined. Okay, where are you with your bonds, your relationship? Oh, my wife is good. My kids are. Where are you with your business? Oh, everything is good. Everything's good. So I said, so why the fuck are you calling me? Oh, I want to go to the next level. What does that mean? because everybody's superficial at the beginning. And then I started, I had an accident. I did this. I feel like I'm stuck. Okay, now you're being real.
Yeah.
Within the first 10 minutes of my conversation, I'm looking, can this man be real or does he want to bullshit me? And I frame it, don't waste my fucking time. You could be real and raw with your conversation with me, or you could waste your fucking time and lie to me and lie to yourself. 10 minutes, you give a man a frame and you become an unstoppable force, and the man will respect you for being direct. Second, once a man is open, like you were open, you said, okay, this is what I'm going through. Then you're like, okay, let me tell you, this is where you are. And let me tell you, you think you're here in level of pain? This is level of pain. So my job is now that I put the Band-Aid out in the first 10, 15 minutes, put some salt in the wound. And now there's an opportunity. Well, this is where the chance comes in. If a man has enough pain, he will change. If he doesn't have the pain, most likely he's not ready for change.
Who would he change for?
His family. And that's why I work with men who have families, because single guys, there's not much leverage. Single guys, hey, who are you going to change for? I want to get another girlfriend. Like, they're not ready, right? I'm not to say that guys who are single doesn't work. We have the most success ratio with men who have kids, men who've been through shit. Like, you know what? It's not for me I want to change. I want to be a better example for my son, for my daughter. I want to be a better example for somebody else. That's what my job is. Once I put some salt, so the first is expose the truth. Second, put some salt in the wound. Third, find the leverage and use that leverage. I said, okay, when? When do you want to change?
But I've been in your seminars, and I see a lot of young guys.
Yes.
And I'm like so proud, because it's like, I would love to be at an age of 20, 21. There was like some guys who were 18 years old, 20, 23. And I was like, I would love to be, how you get through those guys? Because they don't have the pain yet. They still in the, they think they know, and they still in the age that is like what the parent says, how do you
That's what I'm discovering right now. As a matter of fact, this year is the year that we have done some research, and I just finished a book. I recommend this book, The Boy Crisis. Mm-hmm. The Boy Crisis really opened up my eyes to see that the pain that young men are experiencing right now was caused by men like you and I, absent men in their lives. So now we're opening up the doors to work with young men to heal the relationship with their father. Because that's the pain. You see, with you works with, I have leverage with you with your kids. You will change with fucking kids. Young men have a wound because they've been absent fathers. Their fathers have been absent in the past. So now my leverage with this young man is like, do you want to be like your dad? Do you want to end up like your dad? No. Okay, let's fucking do something about it. And then get him to forgive the relationship with the dad, to heal that relationship, to heal that boy, to be able to level up as a man. And I think that alone, we're gonna make a bigger impact. But I need men like you, like men who hold the space for these young men, because they need father figures. They need men. They need to see what men are successful really about. They who are they following? Fucking TikTokers. They're following YouTubers. They're following all those fucking musicians. Yeah. They have drugs. They end up in divorce. They do stupid shit. They need to see real men who are doing the inner work to know that it's not about how much money you make. It's not about, success is not about how much money you make. Success is about having a fulfilling life.
If I don't want to put you on the spot, okay? So I'm not going to say, what would you say to your son? But my son is 12, 13 years old. Your son is 18. 17.
Not yet, 18.
But he's got, the dangerous age. But before we talk about our kids, what would you tell with everything you know right now? Okay, you go back, and what would you tell your 10-year-old Raul and then 18-year-old Raul? Let's say 12-year-old. Let's use my son age, because you knew it, and then your son is right now 17. Those two, because it's like I wanna connect with my son. And there's the age difference a little bit. Yeah. When I'm talking, my son is not listening to me.
Yeah.
It's what I mean? So what would you tell yourself? at the age of 12?
I've told my son many times this. At this age, the best thing he could do is learn how to fail. Learn how to fail. Embrace the feeling of failure, because it's better that he fails at 12, he fails at 15, he fails at 16, 18, than winning all the time and then fail at 30, because that's going to be a hard fall. It's like, learn how to fail. The other day, my son, I don't know if I told you this, my son wants to ask this girl for the prom. And he's planning this big prom proposal, they call it. A prom proposal, right? Yeah. He buys a cake. He's saying, would you go to the prom with me? So I'm asking, hey, how long have you been talking to this girl? He goes, I haven't talked to her in a year. I said, how do you know she's going to say yes? He goes, I'm 90% sure that she's going to say yes. I said, what about the 10%? Okay, let's just play this out. She says no. What will you do? Well, she says no, and she says, I'm embarrassed that, and I won't even go to the prom. She says no. So you mean to tell me that if she rejects you, you're going to be depressed, you're not going to go to the prom, you're going to miss out this? I get that, because it's embarrassing. I don't want to go to the prom alone. And I said, I want you to have a plan if she says no. And as a matter of fact, I want you to have a plan even deeper. What if she says no and she makes fun of you? What if she says no and she's like, hey, who do you think you are? Like, I want you to so I prepared him for the deep wound.
Yes.
So the next day he was like, Dad, he was a little bit worried. Like, okay, so you have a plan? So yeah, if she says no, I'm going to be like, okay, no problem. I'm still going to go. If she makes fun of me, I have already a speech telling her, you know what? I really liked you. I thought you were going to give me a chance, but I guess you're not the girl. I don't know. He had a plan. He went in there. He showed me the video. She said yes.
Wow.
But at least he had a plan. And that's why I would tell any kid right now, have a plan to fail. Don't be afraid of failure. Get rejected, man. Go talk to girls, get rejected. A lot of these kids right now don't talk to girls. They're texting. They don't know how to talk to you and I. When we pick up girls, we have to get rejected. Had to get a lot of no's before I had some yeses.
We understand at our age, that failures are the best lessons, because every time I failed, even though it was so painful, those are the best lessons. And the kids right now, and I think the society and the parents too, you know what I mean? We're teaching, we're getting rewards for any participation. We're getting rewards for just showing up. And there's not building the strong character that, and I'm not saying that you have to spank them and whoop their butt or something. I'm not saying that, because that's how we were raised. At least I don't know about you, but we were raised a strong way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think the answer is to be raised like you and I were, because I don't know necessarily if my mom did. We just have a joke with my mom, because mom is the nice oldest. You tell to my mom, she says, I never hit him. I remember, taking out the cord of the iron, we call it, the iron cord, come here. And we were scared of in Spanish, the chancleta, which is the shoe. They're ninjas. Spanish moms, Latin moms, they're ninjas with the shoe, right? But with our kids, we want to protect them from everything. And I think that's what the society has: weak kids that eventually going to become weak men, because we try to protect them. That's the fight that I have with my wife all the time. Don't protect them. Make sure that they are, they get out there, they get a little bit hurt, but then they're going to get stronger.
But that's a lesson not only to the sons, but also to the daughters, because they grew up and then they have a boyfriend and they want to mother their boyfriends.
Yes.
And that's the last thing they need.
So that's the argument right now that I'm currently going with my daughter.
Okay.
And my daughter asked me if she could have a boyfriend, right? And I lost my shit, man. I was like, man, a dark warrior came out and you're too young to have a boyfriend. You look at your grades, And then my wife was like, okay, what do you think is going to happen? I say no to her. You think she's going to listen to you? No, she's going to do it behind my back, right? So I wrote her a letter. Before I came here, I wrote her a letter. And I told her that it's not that I'm saying no to a boyfriend. It's I'm saying no to a serious relationship. She could have friends, but I don't want her to get stuck to because I was the toxic boyfriend at 17. I was the toxic control freak with my girlfriends because I was insecure. I don't want that for my daughter. And my daughter, she knows, she sees in me a strong character, a strong man, that she's going to know that who she could attract. She's not going to attract a weak guy. She's going to attract a strong personality. but I wanted her to be ready emotionally to be able to complement the personality, not to be overshadowed by the personality. So I'm doing the inside
you're
game
doing
right
the
now
inside game.
for my daughter.
So speaking of the inside game, the inner work and all this stuff, share with us the biggest failure.
My biggest failure.
And how long, I'm sorry, the biggest failure and how long you went through the tunnel. That's how long you stayed there, the lessons you learned.
You know, I have many failures, okay? But I could never say that what I thought it was a failure moment, man, I look back like, thank God it happened because I wouldn't be here. So I couldn't say like, man, I don't have any regrets. I have failures that I've learned, but I have no regrets. If one failure I could see that was one of my deepest one was in 2008 when the market crashed. I had multiple properties, multiple developments, and I ran out of money to support everyone around me. And I had multiple agents that worked with me that I had to write checks to support their families. So I didn't have the guidance or for somebody to say, hey, Raul, this is only temporary. Like, I thought it was the end of the world. Like, okay, you know what? We tried. Now I have to let these properties go. I
like it that it happened because that's why you're sitting here. That's why you helped me because then
But here's what happened. When the market shifted, I started losing the properties. I found other opportunities with the default that I was the bank for the other side. So I used to go to the court. You went to court to buy. I used to go to the court to represent the people. Here I am foreclosing on some properties, and I have the balls to go there and talk to the judge about acquiring all these other properties, right? So then I had to shift. So that for me, if I look back, I would have done it a little bit different. But from that place, I realized that there's always an opportunity in the moment of chaos, right? So I made a lot of money in that. I would have made a lot more if I bought those. I made a lot of money managing those properties, okay? But then I was living with fear. I was living with fear. In the back of my mind, I don't want to go back to being broke. I don't want to go back to losing properties. So I'm going to operate out of fear. That's why I fell out of love of real estate. And that's when I started to drink every single day. I started to be depressed. And I have money in the bank account. I had no reason to be depressed. I have plenty of business, plenty of clients. My business was growing. I had people calling me all the time. The New York Times were calling me for quotes. Bloomberg was calling for quotes. People wanted me to write books about real estate because I made a lot of people money. But I was depressed. I felt alone. I felt like, man, I don't want to go to the office. And I had this physical pain in my body. I don't know if you ever had so much stress that you feel like, man, you were dying inside. Mm-hmm. And I started to drink every single night, drinking every single night, to the point that my wife used to buy, like, it was a joke. Like, I'm going to give you a medicine, Raul, because that's the only way I'll go to sleep. Drink half a bottle of tequila. Half a bottle of tequila every single night. And the next morning, because tequila doesn't give you that much of if you buy some, I always buy a good tequila. I wasn't buying the cheap shit, okay? Buying some good tequila. And then my son saw me in the couch one day, and I looked at his eyes, and then he asked my wife, what's wrong with Daddy? Is Daddy okay? That broke my heart. That broke my heart. And at that moment, I said, I need to wake the fuck up. I need to fight something. That was when I said, enough. I can't fuck. And then I was finding solutions. I went to a seminar, to another one. I ended up spending about $500,000 in personal development, learning from multiple people, but I wanted to know, how do I fix me? What I realized in that journey is that it's not a shortcut. You have to go through the fucking process. I had to do the inner work, like looking back on my life and healing that version of me that was afraid. And I realized that I've been living on fear of my life. Ever since my father left Ecuador, when I was 8 years old, something in my brain came on saying, people are going to leave you. You're going to be bad unless you are good enough. And all my life I was proving that I was good enough not to be abandoned. The little boy felt abandoned. Imagine, I'm 40 fucking years old, drinking my ass because I didn't heal the 8-year-old version of me. And that's what a lot of men don't understand, that they're just big fucking kids. They haven't healed their little boy. That's why they're projecting and they have toxic relationships, because they haven't healed themselves, haven't done the work.
So how would you, because you tell them like that, they're not gonna believe you. You know, the one that looking ready for answers, I mean, they fund you.
Yeah.
But you have a conversation, a minute conversation with somebody, and let's say you wait for the plane, or you're in the Starbucks line for coffee. What would you tell them, man? Like not knowing the pain, but what would be like a minute, like 2 minute conversation that
I just had a conversation with a guy in the plane on the way here. He's going to a funeral, and I asked him what does he do, and he was telling me that he represents a lot of celebrity guys that get in trouble. He's in the side when celebrities get in trouble, they call him. It's called a fixer, right? But I started just talking about the pain that people go through. People relate to your story. That's what's so important, for people like you that have success in business, to share their struggles. Because people are not going to connect with you. Oh, I'm a billionaire. Okay, great for you, asshole. No, I've been through depression. I've been through this. Oh, I want to connect. If I want to connect with somebody, if I'm meeting, I'm always connecting through a story of pain, of why they're in pain, if they have a challenge right now. Because people right now, you don't know what they're going through. There's a lot of people that are going through a lot of shit. All they're looking for is somebody to listen, to actually hear, and hear beyond the words sometimes. Beyond the story. If you ask somebody, how you doing? Well, I'm doing good. So I always say, how come not outstanding? Because you ask me, I'm doing not outstanding. That's my standard,
exactly.
Right? But good. Oh, how come not good? What's going on? It's like, I just lost this and that. Now you start connecting to the pain. And then you start really threading, finding the thread and pulling until you find something.
So like for me, I start doing this and social media and the podcast and everything else, and writing the book. And the guy asked me, why are you writing the book now? Not 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Number one, I wasn't ready. That's number one. I wasn't ready. And number two, I lost some friends to suicide and also to, over drinking or drug abuse and stuff like that. So it just I have to share my message. I have to just get in the game, and at least if I save one person's lives, I mean, this is one at a time. What was for you? Because it's a two different industry. I mean, real estate, and you know what? It's what you do. It's not even self-development. It's like it's the inner work, the spiritual work, the mind skill. It's you going deep, like you opening, like at least with me, like I'm getting goosebumps when I'm saying that. Like you went deep and like.
I'm a surgeon, brother.
Yeah.
I am a fucking surgeon.
Yeah, but you were not born with that. I mean, it's like how, like walk me through, like just the process, like when it happens, like, hey,
I'll tell you exactly when it happened.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to a fundraiser and I met a guy that was raising money for a movie. And the movie is based on a book by Eckhart Tolle. I had no idea who Eckhart Tolle is. If you know who Eckhart Tolle is, he's like a very conscious author. This guy is very spiritual, very hippie, right? So I'm thinking, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm in the real estate business. I have some money. I'm going to donate some money to this guy. But he had a compelling story how kids right now need to be more conscious. Kids need to have more awareness. And again, I'm just coming out of my tunnel, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I need to give back. I met the guy, he's a Hollywood director, and I said to him, hey, listen, I'm gonna call you to come speak at one of my seminars, one of my events. I'm doing an event soon, so you might be interested on it. So the guy says, absolutely. So he gave me his card, we exchanged business cards. I turned around, I told my wife, what the fuck was that? There was no event. I had no idea. I wasn't gonna put an event. I had an idea, maybe put like an event together, but it just came out of me, right? So I said, okay, the guy's not gonna call me. The guy calls me the next day. Hey, when is your event? I was like, I ignore his call. Then he texts me, where's your event? He's calling me. He's like, blowing my phone. I said, so I don't look bad with this Hollywood producer.
But do you know what went? Like, what did you tell him that he even thought that you do the event? Or
I said to him, it's going to be an event with real estate investors, with some influencers. I don't know, like the guy just all of a sudden. So then I called him. I said, hey, listen, the event. And I said, what would be a date that this guy would say no to? Say, hey, the event is going to be in Las Vegas. Conscious guy, Like, who wants to go to Las Vegas if you're in that world, right? And it's going to be 2 weeks before Christmas. So I'm pretty sure that he was going to say no. He goes, I'm in. I'm there. He said, here's the key word. Something about you, I have a sense that you're going to do something big. And I want to help you do it. And I'm like, all right, now I have to put this event together, right?
Yes.
So I called people to join me in this crazy event in Las Vegas, crazy event in 2 weeks before Christmas. And everybody that I talked to, Yarek said yes. I was looking for somebody. If somebody says no, I said, okay, I try. I'll cancel the event. Everyone said yes. I said, fuck. So now I'll put this event in Las Vegas. I've never spoken as a seminar. I've never done a seminar in my life, okay? Now, what I'm going to talk to for 2 days? I've been to Tony Robbins. I know Tony Robbins material. So I did the best impression of Tony Robbins. Everybody was happy. Everybody was clapping. Awesome. You did Latin Tony. And then that's when it hit me. I felt like a fraud. I felt like, fuck. Like, so I remember going to the bathroom and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is not me. And then I was like, oh shit, I know what this means. I need to go back and I tell him the truth. I need to share. And I'm having this conversation with God in the bathroom. Okay? Yeah, I'm like, God, I'm not ready. He's like he said.
The seminar is still going.
The seminar is still going. I'm in the bathroom in the break and I'm having this conversation and I say, no, let me be the Latin Tony for a little bit, maybe a couple of years, 5 years until I get my strength, my certainty. And God's like, no, you've been called to do this. If you do this now, I'll find somebody else to do this. But you've been called to do this work. I went in there, Yarek, and I talked about my drinking problems, my depression, my tunnel. Everybody was crying and connected with the message. And that's when I realized, oh shit, there's something here. I wanted something else and I needed this.
Exactly.
So the seminar, pretty much what I do is based on what has been done to me. Like how God has peeled the onion every single time. My job is to do it for other men.
This is my first podcast, right? So it's funny, like we're gonna look at it 10 years from now. It's like, holy shit, I look stiff at this. I misspoke. The words were changing. So any advice you would give me or anybody who start doing something? Because like right now, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know how to interview. I'm not prepared. It's the first thing. I'm nervous as fuck. But any advice would you give to somebody that is starting something new? What the advice would you give him? Like
what I told you earlier on today, I said the reason I want to support you in what you do and why I believe you're going to do something big is because you're doing it for the right intention. You're doing it for the right reason. And when you do it for the right reason, the right intention, all you want is to impact one person. And that one person is you. You want to talk to the audience about the old version of Yarek. Every video that I did at the beginning, Yarek, I was talking to the old version of Raul because the old version of Raul was in the tunnel. The old version of Raul was drinking. The old version of Raul was lost. And because I talked to that one person, other people related to that story. And as long as I was able to help one person, I was fine. So I know we're going to look back at 10 years from now like, holy shit, Madison Square Garden, we filled it out already, Yep. 10,000 men in Madison Square Garden, shit. We're going to look back at this as the beginning of the journey. And then 10 years from now, it's going to go another level and another level. But the beginning is where you don't get caught up on being perfect. Like we came here and you said, I don't know what we're going to do.
Are you reading my mind right now? Because
fuck perfection.
Exactly.
Progress. Intention and action.
That's exactly what I want to just make sure with to anybody who wants to do anything. That's what I say. Like anything in life, just do it. You know what I mean? Don't overthink and don't overanalyze it. Just do it. Fail, learn from it, and even get a shitty feedback. It's like let people tell you, and then on the end of that, you just tell yourself. And just, and do not get discouraged. And that's what we talk about, like your son and all the failures for the son, my son. It's just keep doing it. Nothing's going to be perfect. And you know what? Even you've been in it 7 years and your seminars are not perfect. And a lot of times, like I've been with you, you switch. You go in one direction and then something happened and you go in completely the other directions. You cannot, you just got to go with the flow. And it's like, that's
we adapt, adjust, and execute.
And that's
I'll tell you a quick story. When I decided to put content out there, but before I was afraid of the criticism. I said, what are my real estate peers going to think of me? What are my clients going to think of me? What are these banking institutions that give me assets going to think of me? Like, what is JP Morgan going to think? Like, Raul is talking about this, right?
Yeah.
But I said, fuck it. I'm going to do it because I know the message is going to hit somebody. Then I started getting a lot of people who I thought they were going to be hating actually said, hey, Raul, I'm going to this. Man, thank you for speaking out. So my enemies or my competition became my allies. The biggest criticism came from people who I thought they were closer to me, kind of judging, hey, who do you think you are, Raul? Who do you think? Oh, you think you're perfect, right? So
it's funny saying that. I really appreciate that because it's like two things. Like when we got in real estate, and you've been in real estate as well, like when I become an agent, guess what? Nobody wanted to buy a house or real estate through me. I just got in. You know what I mean? Nobody trusts me. Everybody was like, yeah. Suddenly when I got successful, I got all the closings. Oh, yeah, like I want to buy a house. I want to buy this. Well, now I don't need you. Now I have all those clients, you know what I mean? And they want a discount. The same thing with the podcast right now. It's like all my family, people that know me on social media, they the one to criticize the most. But they know my story. They know everything. And this is like, if they want to help, if they were going through what I'm going through, I mean, they can reach me like that. Like I'm trying to do this for people that have absolutely no connection. Yeah. Share the story. Somebody who is across the ocean, is going like, I'm going through the same thing.
100%.
And I just 100%. Want to make sure that there's somebody out there. There's nobody from my close because they know how connect with me. It's the people that and just stay consistent and the story. And I really appreciate that because the story is gonna touch somebody.
Yep.
And it's not gonna touch the one that you think it's gonna touch. And it's like because I'm really doing this, number one, to fulfill myself. Yeah. And the purpose, I found a purpose in that. But there's somebody out there that, can really relate to that. Is like, you know what? This shall pass. So
100% proud of you, brother. I'm so fucking proud of you, man. And just for the audience to know, I believe in this man, and I know he's gonna do great things. Just continue to watch his journey, because success without fulfillment is ultimate failure. You need to make sure that everything you do, whatever you do it with the right intention. You do it for the right reasons, because at the end, every single one of us we're going to measure our success and our legacy based on the impact that we created in this world.
And I just want to also add to it's my interview, not yours, but thank you. I really appreciate it. We will work on it. But also, I want to add to that we really got everything within us, that we don't have to go out there, search, go chase it. Everything what we need, doesn't matter what you're going through, great stuff or bad stuff, horrible pain. Everything is within you, and you can, go through it, figure it out, and finding a peer group and, ask for help. Mostly ask for help. You're not alone. You're not alone. Please ask for help. There's somebody out there. There's more than happy and share the story and have the knowledge and can, walk you through. Thank you, Raul.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Okay. Appreciate you.
Thank you for listening. Leave your comments and subscribe for more insights on mastering your inner game.